Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Hegseth, I appreciate the department and the administration's focus on expansion and innovation in the defense industrial base. That's particularly important for emerging technologies. For years on this committee, my office has led the effort to ban the procurement of Chinese communist drones, which pose a significant national security threat. And last year, after years of work, this committee finally passed my Countering CCP Drones Act, or Section 1709 of the NDAA, which was fully implemented in December. How does the FY27 budget scale domestic production and deployment of drone systems to ensure the U.S. has the decisive advantage against our U.S. enemies?
Well, thank you for the question. First of all, thank you for your work on that. Critically important. When you look under the hood of the ways in which China is trying to use critical elements of our defense industrial base and supply chain against us, or capabilities in the future that could hamstring us with options for a future president, it's staggering. So drones is one that not only have we recognized, but thanks to your leadership and the leadership of others, we are supercharging in this budget. Conservatively, $54 billion in drone and drone dominance and counter UAS. Jay just slid me a piece of paper. If you add it all up, it could be closer to $74 billion. We started a defense autonomous warfare group, to focus on this, but we're going to do even more. We will shortly announce a sub-unified command of autonomous warfare. Drones are so central to the future of warfare and where we get them from that we have to be able to both make the exquisite ones better than anybody else and also the attritable swarm, and then the ability to defeat them ahead of our adversary, learning from battlefields like Ukraine and Epic Fury. So thank you for your leadership. It is front and center in this budget.
I very much appreciate all that the department is doing under your leadership. One of the concerns I have is recent reporting indicates that while DJI, which is a communist Chinese drone company, is prohibited from receiving new FCC authorizations, there are still DJI products such as the DJI Avata 360 widely available in the U.S. through major retailers. These received FCC authorizations before my provision in the NDAA was fully implemented. So my question to you is, we need to close this loophole to protect our national security. Will you commit to working with this committee in my office to ensure that these products that pose a significant risk to our national security are no longer permitted, given the evident threat CCP drones pose to U.S. national security?
Congressman, yes, the department will commit to working with your staff and looking at that loophole, which we are aware of. And I missed in my first response, of course, that $54 billion is American-made drone dominance. That is exactly where they need to be, and that's where our focus is.
Great. Another emerging technology that's very important and has a strong tie to my district is quantum computing. China continues to invest heavily in quantum computing, sensing, and secure communications for military advantage. I represent Rome Air Force Research Lab, which is a hub of research when it comes to quantum. Secretary Hegseth, how does the budget proposal position the U.S. to maintain leadership in operationally relevant quantum technologies?
The country that dominates in quantum will dominate the future in C2, in comms, in every way that we fight. And so this makes the maximal investment possible here at home to ensure that quantum compute, and working across the interagency, by the way, this is not just a DOW issue, this is an interagency issue, to ensure that we've got the ability to scale and outcompute adversaries who are racing for the same code.
General Caine, throughout my time in Congress, I've pushed for the department to optimize its approach to quantum and develop a strategic roadmap. In your opinion, which quantum capability areas offer the most immediate benefit to the joint force and should be priority investments moving forward?
Probably some of their work in crypto and quantum to make sure we can see, sense, understand, defeat, and protect our own stuff. So that's where I'm most interested in it right now, ma'am.
Great, and I also want to use my remaining time. I just want to invite both of you to visit Fort Drum, home of the 10th Mountain Division, the most deployed division in the U.S. Army since 9/11. In the first Trump administration, I had the honor of hosting President Trump, where he signed the NDAA in my district, and it's been a privilege to represent them. So encourage you to visit that installation before the end of this year. Thank you very much, and I yield back.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.